What's going on, Twitch and YouTube? Welcome to episode 12 of the U.S.S. CERRITOS tutorial. I'm Zerrelete, and I just want to thank you very much for tuning into today's video. And if you haven't, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and helping me in supporting the channel. I can't thank you enough for that. And today we have about a 39-minute video. We're going to be focusing on the lower hull of the ship. In episode 11 yesterday, we were working on the lower hull pylons to build out our lower hull right here. So we're going to start working on this. First, we're going to build a strut going from the one end all the way across. This is going to be kind of like a builder line. And then we're going to do another block going straight back until we get to the next pylon. Now we're going to do the same thing for the right side, or excuse me, the left side. Okay, so now we're going to skip forward just a little bit. This is part of the build that I ended up doing a little bit of a trial and error period, basically, trying to wing this design. And long story short, anything that I built freehand just wasn't coming out the way that I wanted it to. So what I'm going to end up doing is actually going back to a pixel circle generator, and we're going to input information I need to make an oval. And you can see this was even my second attempt, and it looks better than the first, but it's not getting that curve in the back end that it should be having. All right, so now we're going to add some thickness to this bar that we have from going from the back pylon to the front one. We're going to add a layer on top, and then we're going to add another layer beneath it as well. And now we're going to add another row up top, same level as before, or as the top one. Now we'll do the same thing for the bottom row. So this way we have a nice little gap in between. Should look like a C. And now let's repeat the same thing for the right side. Basically what we're building right now is this piece right here. All right, we are in pretty good shape. So I block there, and now another one on the opposite end. We're gonna end up making that too wide. So let's go back now and do the same thing back here so they both match up, and then we're gonna do the same thing on the left side. So far, so good. And even from the picture on the right, as you can see, the lower hull is not very big. I think it's about spot on the size. The only thing that varies a little bit is the pylons down here, but it wasn't that much that I could have really done about that. But I did the best that I could, and I think it doesn't look bad, all things considered. So now we're going to add a row of white concrete in between these spacers, and we're going to do the same thing for both the right side and the left side. All right, we're getting to a point where now we're going to rebuild out the lower hull. Now, I do wing it this last time, so I want to skip forward just a little bit until I get to the pixel circle generator. Okay. So now we're going to do our width, 25, and our height. Make sure I unclick that. And the height we're going to do 45. And that should give us a nice oval shape That looks pretty good, actually. And I should be able to use this as a template now. To where, if you look at the spacer right here, pretty much this back is what we're going to build. So if you want to take a screenshot of that, feel free to do so, but this is literally what we're going to be building. So now I'm going to go through and I'm going to delete the old row that I have here. This first row that I cut in, I'm making it 4 long. Everything else after that, I'm deleting. I shouldn't even say after this gray point. Actually, from here on is what we're building. So started with the first 4 blocks, and then we go 3, and then we do 2 rows of 2, and then we're going to go in a couple cuts. We're going to go in 3 of them, and then we're going to do 2 going inward after that. All right, looking pretty good. Now we're going to get the same thing done on the right side. You won't see me using, especially at this point, you're not going to see me using a pixel circle generator too much, if at all. I really try to do all that in the beginning of the build, so this way I don't have to go back to the pixel circle generator because it just takes up a lot of time. But I think that this was just necessary because, I mean, I basically built this out about 3 times that I just skipped over to bring us to this point, and each time it was not coming out the way I wanted it to. That looks pretty darn good, actually. Going back to the picture just to double check. But that backside, I think that's about as close as we're going to get to it. Now, having it this length now, the only problem that we're going to run into is now we're going to have to make our engines a little bit longer so that everything stays within proportion based off the picture on the right. But that's okay. We're not going to worry about that at this moment. We're just going to continue on. Now we're going to build out the front side, the underside of the deflector dish. We're not actually going to build out the deflector dish today. We're just going to worry about building lower hull housing. And then in a future episode, we'll go out and build that. But we will pan back around to the engines and make them longer so this way they don't look short, because that's just basically, sometimes it's going to happen. You build something out and you end up having to make a slight change to it because it's not in proportion with the picture that you're referencing. We're going to make this first block too long. And we're just going to add another row in front of all these other pre-existing blocks. We can get rid of the axis behind it. It's not looking too bad. I will say I'm actually really excited when we get to the point to make the deflector dish because it's one of my favorite things on this build. I love how it came out. And it's one of the reasons I'm actually really excited to build Enterprise D now, because if it came out this good on the Cerritos, I think it's going to come out even better on the Enterprise D, because Enterprise D is going to be bigger. I actually think that the deflector dish on the Cerritos would have come out even better if it was bigger than it actually was, but I was just trying to keep it within proportion of the rest of the ship, so it ended up being the size that it was. Uh, doesn't look too bad. That about has the shape that it needs to be for the front. I'm actually pretty happy with that, because the front doesn't slope back nearly as much as the back does. The back is the part that really slopes back. So I think based off looking at this 3D model so far, pretty spot on where I need to be. Okay, so I am going to add some length to the engines. I'm not going to build them out, but I'm going to make the wireframe for them. So I'm adding 10 additional rows of blocks. I think I ended up adding an additional 5 after that even. It's pretty much what I'm trying to get a gauge right now. Yeah, I just added another 5. The reason I'm doing the blue like this is because, again, I don't want to commit. If I don't want to commit to this, I can easily take it away. And this is just meant to be just a builder block that I can interchange out at a different point. But right now, it's just meant to serve the purpose of being a stand-in to get the length for the engines based off of this picture on the right. And the best thing to do is to fly up into the air and kind of look at it from the same angle. Because this is where I need to be careful, because I don't want to make them too long, because as you can see by this picture, I mean, on the right, the engines are long, but they're not super long. And I think where I have them right now, they're just too short. But I think that little addition that I've done on the back, I think if we extend them out to that, keeping the exact same design that we currently have on the back end of them, but just bringing them back further, I think that that could work really well. Okay, so now we're jumping into the next point in our video. We are rocking. We're already 20 minutes in. We've got another 18. Kind of a long video today, actually. I think it's the longest one I've done in a while. But now we're going to start to turn our wireframe into a 3D object. So the best way to do that is just by adding in one row at a time. So I'm going with a cut at this point. So I'm going to be building along with the cut. So I'm not going to be adding any extra blocks that don't fit that pattern. So this block right here, every time I hit that corner, I'm going to have to go back in and delete that again. Oh, went too far, got to bring it back by one. And I do get asked sometimes, like, how I come up with a pattern for um, making my objects uh, from the wireframe into a 3D shape. And the best suggestion I can make is just literally what I'm doing now, is that you can see I'm not trying to add in too much at one time. I'm just adding in one row. And then I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but we'll get there in a few moments. After I'm done with this row all the way around, I'm going to go back around and do the same thing, but on the underside, and start seeing how that looks. And just literally by adding one row at a time, you don't even need to go all the way around if you're trying to experiment. Let's say that you maybe wanted to transition into using half slabs on one row. You can do a section of your wireframe, zoom out, take a look at it. If that's what you want, then continue on. That's something I will do all the time. In fact, when I'm doing my builds, instead of doing the whole thing and wasting my time, if I'm not certain that I want it, I'll just do a little section of it, take a look at it. If I like it, then I'll just continue on. All right, perfect. So now we're doing the underside, and the same exact placement as the top. We're just going along with the cut and making sure to delete any leftover access blocks that we have from building. Now we're not going to complete the lower hull today, but we're going to get a good portion of it done. We're going to have the primary shape of it formed, and we'll have it ready that we can add in a couple more rows in the next video along with the deflector dish. I haven't gone ahead and look into the next streams yet, but off the top of my head from when I did the build, I believe that's the order that I did it in. Up one couple of blocks forward, we have to bring that back by 2. And now to switch it up, I'm going to do the left side. So now I just have to do a row across the front. And the reason I didn't do the front for top or bottom was because I was considering at this point that I was going to leave it open to do the deflector dish. But I ultimately decide to close it in the front because I decide later on that I'm going to come back and actually cut out the area that the deflector dish is going to be in. So I'm going around the back end and I'm doing a row of half slabs. And the reason I'm doing the half slabs is because if you look at the back end of the lower hull on the top right here, see that's a really a nice angle there. So we're not going to be able to achieve that using full-size blocks. So we're going to have to make a more of a cut in there. And the only way to do that is to have a combination of the half slabs and full slabs, or just half slabs. I think this is going to work out pretty good. I didn't really have too many problems building out the lower hull. Really, the parts of this build that I had the biggest problems with was yesterday's episode with the lower hull pylons, and then the upper side of the upper of the saucer section, building out that back end. We'll get into that, but that was it was a pain in the butt to get it even close to how the CERRITOS should look. But I'm pretty happy with how it came out. I'm curious to see if other people are going to attempt this build themselves to see how well that actually comes out. Other YouTubers, I'm curious to see how it comes out, because so far I haven't seen anybody that has attempted to build the CERRITOS on Minecraft, either out of not having time or no interest. I'm not sure, but I've actually grown quite fond of the ship. The show was actually surprisingly good lower decks, a lot better than I thought it was going to be, and they they did a great job of really making everything by design in a likable way. I will give them that, and it's a cool ship. It's a not much more I can say about it other than that. But I want to get back in a little bit what I got going on here. This row that I just added in up top, it's not going to work. So what we're going to have to do to pull off this slope here in the back is I'm going to have to transition every other row between half slabs and full slabs to get a nice long angle like this. You can see I didn't go all the way around the ship. I just did part of the back end here to really make that determination. And that's what I was saying earlier. Sometimes all you need to do is build out one part, take a look at it, and if it looks like crap, take it down and throw it, and rebuild it until you come up with something that you do like. Right, and we're making pretty good progress. If you're on Twitch, be sure to follow me on my YouTube channel. You can follow me on youtube.com/C/Zero Elite. And I always have new videos coming out on Mondays through Fridays at 10 a.m. Eastern. And if you're on YouTube, what are you doing? Please follow me on Twitch also. I've had a ton of people ask me if I'm streaming, and now I am. And you can follow me on twitch.tv/Zero Elite. And you can always catch new streams Sundays through Thursday nights between 9 and 10 p.m. Eastern. And if you are following my YouTube series and you're looking to get that videos maybe just a little bit sooner, my live streams are definitely where it's at because you can actually get all my new content on YouTube a day early on Twitch. Because this video that I'm doing right now live won't debut until tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. on YouTube. But everybody that is supporting me across both platforms, I can't thank you enough. All the positive feedback and everything is giving me the motivation to keep the tutorial series going with doing different builds. The CERRITOS was actually the #1 build request that I had in the comment section, which was a large reason why I decided to build it, other than the fact that, I really do like the ship. Um, but if there's any other ships that you would like to see me build, be sure to drop a comment below. I've had a lot of positive comments in the comment section for both Twitch and YouTube as far as things that people would like to see me build. I've had a few people ask for the Stargazer. I've had somebody ask for the Enterprise, the original Enterprise A. I've even had some interest in doing a video on small shuttlecrafts to put inside of your ships. And I think that could be something that I'm probably going to be doing at some point because, like I said, I've had actually quite a bit of interest from people asking me to do another video on shuttlecraft. I did one a really long time ago when I did the Enterprise A from Star Trek Beyond, the retrofit. I think I had that in part of one of the mock episodes of the U.S.S. Enterprise. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've done those first two. I know there was one of them where I built out some shuttle bays, but I think, or excuse me, some shuttlecraft, but I think there's some more cool stuff that I could do with it. So that's something that I'm definitely looking at doing. But still, if there's stuff you'd like to see me do, drop a comment below. I definitely would love to hear from you. And even if I don't do your build right away, don't get discouraged because this is something I'm going to be doing indefinitely. I really enjoy doing these tutorial videos, and the positive feedback that I've been getting and the views have definitely given me reason to keep this going. So don't let that discourage you. If anything, if I don't comment back, chances are I'm more than likely going to save that for to either respond to it at a later time, or I'm saving it to add that with other requests that I'm getting so I can look at what content people would like to see me do, because that's something I really try to do on my YouTube channel rather than just building stuff that I want. Um, because I mean, obviously, at the same time, I have to build stuff that I'm passionate about, and I will tell anybody, build stuff that you're passionate about because it'll come out that much better. But also, I'd love to get feedback from the community because if I'm doing something that you're invested in, hopefully, you'll come back and, watch more of my YouTube videos and my Twitch streams as well. So, I definitely take requests from the community. In fact, almost all of my builds at this point have been community requests. So keep those requests coming, and I've got a lot of cool stuff coming out on both my Twitch and YouTube channel. In fact, if you're following me on Twitch, there's some other games I've been branching out into. I've been doing live streams for Grand Theft Auto, uh, Cyberpunk 2077, and even the Falconeer. I haven't done the Falconeer in a couple of days because Cyberpunk's come out, but I've had a few people watching me stream that, so I definitely plan on doing more of it. And if there's other games that you would like me to stream, drop a comment below, and I'll definitely check it out. But getting back into this build, we're looking pretty good. I've done the back end of this on purpose only because I really want to just look at the back end to see how it's starting to form up together. Um, and then not only that, also if I want the rest of the upper and lower hull at this point to transition the same way going all the way around. That might, I mean, it might actually work doing it this way because I don't know that I'm going to be able to come up with a better pattern that looks this clean. Um, and to be honest with you, I think I can get away with it because I know it like towards the front here kind of slopes up just a little bit, but I think I can make that work once we have the deflector dish. If it has the same transition going along the sides here, I don't think anybody's going to notice that too much. All right, so now we're going to bring up these rows a little bit on the right side now. So now we're going to do the half slab, and then we're going to go up one row, and we're going to do the full block. The only thing we're not doing at this point is the front row where the deflector dish is, but we'll do that in a few moments. We also have to do the underside. When a couple blocks too far, we want to make sure to bring that back to the cut line and then delete anything after that. This is basic 101 of transitioning a wireframe of your ship out into a 3D object. You can see I've just done it row by row, little by little, looking at the shape that I have in comparison to the reference picture to see how well it matches it. And that's really the best way to do it. I mean, I'm sure that other people have their own process in how they build their ships out, but this is really the best thing that's worked out for me where I get the most bang for my buck, basically. I get the most detail out of it. I'm pretty happy with it, and usually comes out the best. And this is also one of the most efficient ways in doing it without spending a crap ton of time building something out that maybe doesn't look as good, because I could have just settled the first two times, or excuse me, the first three times I built out the back end of the wireframe of the ship, but it just wasn't coming out right. And I was determined to get it where I wanted it to be, and I wouldn't give up. So I just kept going until I got it to a point that I was happy with it. So don't give up when you're building your ships out. Sometimes it takes making a mistake to figure out what the solution really is. And I've found that out more often than not when I'm building something on Minecraft. I really, sometimes you just got to build it the wrong way before you can see the solution right there in front of you. All right, we're rocking. Still got a little bit left in today's episode, about 3 minutes left. I had one of my buddies sending me a party invite when I was making this tutorial. I think after I did this recording session, I hopped off and played some Grand Theft Auto or something like that, but we won't see any of that tonight. And this particular stream anyway. I might get back on after this and do some more streaming. Um, but definitely, I keep promoting. I hope people from my YouTube channel come over and check out my Twitch. I'm really trying to get my followers up on that, and my consistent views. I'm always streaming. I've been getting on that schedule. I need to actually post it on my Twitch channel. I haven't done it yet, but I've been talking about in my videos that my schedule is going to remain the same for Twitch. Doing my live streams Sunday through Thursday nights between 9 and 10 p.m. Eastern. That's pretty much a guarantee unless some personal stuff comes up where I can't get on. But I plan on also doing streams in between that too, either in the evening, morning, at night, basically any time in between that I can get on. But those times that I mentioned, that's the guaranteed time that I will be on. And this is also a great opportunity where if you had questions that you were looking to get out of me, or get me more of a live uh, setting to have a conversation, my live streams are really a great place to do that because I am watching the uh, comment section, and I do answer questions while I'm doing these videos. Even if I'm, focusing on adding commentary for the video, I always take time to answer questions. So don't be afraid to drop a comment below on Twitch, but definitely follow me on there because there's a lot of cool stuff that I have coming on my Twitch channel, like I've been talking about, more games. Uh, Outside of even building stuff. I'm trying to branch out a little bit. You won't see that on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is actually just going to be exclusively for building. At this point, Starship Evo and Minecraft. There might be other games that I'll do in the future. If there's other games you'd like to see me stream or build stuff on, even on my YouTube channel, drop a comment below and let me know. But I'm really trying to grow out my channel a little bit here, and I've been making a point to try to up the production quality of my videos and the editing, as well as giving more informed information so you can have the best builds possible. Because I definitely know how it feels, and this is one of my main reasons for doing this, because, when I first started building my 2009 Enterprise 10 years ago on Minecraft, I found a couple of people that had so-called tutorials, but when you go on there and watch their videos, it's literally just them flying around the ship talking about a bunch of random stuff that has nothing to do with the build. And, granted, I'll talk about some stuff like other nerd-related stuff while I'm building, but I still give out a ton of useful information regarding the process of building a ship, why I make the decisions that I make, some of the different reference materials that you can use, and just a couple of little other ins and outs on building your ship. And also the main thing that you actually get to see me do it, because I don't edit out most of the content for my videos. You see it in live. Every once in a while I will take one or two things out that I end up not using, but I'll only do that to save time. But like you saw in the beginning of this episode, we actually skipped past some of the mistakes that I made because I didn't want to take that time to build it out for 10 minutes and have everybody do the same thing only to delete it. So I just decided, I'll just fast forward it and I'll show you what it looked like after. But anyway, we've shot through episode 12. Can't believe we're already on episode 12, and we were rocking and rolling through this tutorial series. Um, but I think that's going to wrap it up for today. I just want to thank everybody for tuning into today's video. And if you did enjoy today's content, if you could please help me out, hit that like and subscribe button. I can't thank you enough for that. And if you're following me on Twitch at twitch.tv/ZeroElite, you can always catch my new Twitch streams Sundays through Thursday nights between 9 and 10 p.m. Eastern. And please don't forget to follow me on my YouTube channel at youtube.com/c/ZeroElite. You can always catch my new Starship Evo builds releasing Monday mornings at 10 a.m. And then my new Minecraft episodes releasing Tuesdays through Fridays at 10 a.m. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for me. I just want to thank you again for tuning into today's video. I hope everybody has a happy and safe week, and I'll catch you in the next video.